Journalists, comedians, and actors figured prominently in India's MeToo movement in 2018, coming out with stories of harassment at the hands of men in power. A recent court verdict acquitting an accuser in a defamation case was seen as a victory for women who have spoken out against harassment, while offices and workplaces are gradually improving protections offered to workers. Many women in the informal sector remain invisible within the movement in India. DW follows such a worker who wants to emphasize that time is indeed up.
Bharti Rani is well known in her neighborhood. She stops and talks to other domestic workers who live nearby. Many are now friends, but some close their doors. She's too much of an activist, they say. She doesn't mind though. She wants to make sure that other young women and girls are never afraid, like she was once, to speak out against harassment.
The employers treat us with such disgust. We can't sit next to them. We can't sit on the couch. We can't eat at the table. We can't eat from the plates. We only have a right to wash them. So how dare he touch me? If I can't sit next to you, how dare you put your hand on me?
Bharti was only 8 years old when she was sent to work for a rich family and to live with them without pay. It's a common arrangement in Indian cities, which activists say amounts to modern slavery. Harassment and abuse by employers is common too. And domestic workers often say they can't afford to speak out at the risk of losing their jobs. But Bharti stresses that it is better to lose a job with dignity than to suffer through one without. Nandita Bhatt heads a women's rights NGO. She points out that while MeToo testimonials occupied mostly digital spaces, she found similar reactions amongst Bharti and other domestic workers offline as well. They asked women to share their workplace harassment experiences through art and writing, and stitched it together on a sari, calling it Main Bhi, which means Me Too in Hindi. When they displayed the piece, Bhatt recalls there was a stunned silence.
They didn't realize that, there are others like them as well. They thought that they were the only ones who had experienced sexual harassment at the world of work. It got them to talk about it, realize that what is happening to them is unfair, and they can speak and they're not alone.
Bharti Rani says this isn't just about her. She wants to ensure that her daughter grows up watching her mother live with dignity, knowing that she deserves it too.
Whatever I say, whatever I tolerate, my baby is absorbing it. It saddens me. I don't want her to learn this. She's better than me. She'll be stronger than me. This is why I tell women to rise, to raise their voice. If not for themselves, then for their children, to make them strong.
Bharti says that she wants her daughter to be unafraid of the rich, to have a big house herself, a comfortable job. She's confident her daughter can be just like them, but a much, much kinder person.